Joseph Goebbels was the voice of Nazi Germany. As Adolf Hitler's minister of propaganda, he controlled everything Germans saw, heard, and believed. Newspapers, radio, film, culture, every message passed through him. To the public, Goebbels appeared as a devoted family man, a disciplined intellectual, and one of the most loyal figures in the Nazi regime. But behind closed doors, a very different man existed. His private diaries, discovered in the ruins of Berlin in 1945 and later translated by journalist Louis P. Lochner, reveal a disturbing pattern. According to historian Peter Longerich, the same methods Goebbels used in propaganda defined his private life as well. Identify weakness, create false closeness, maintain control. This pattern shaped both his relationships with women and his manipulation of an entire nation. In the 1920s, before power found him, Goebbels was a failed writer living in poverty. His diary entries from this period reveal intense emotional instability. He pursued multiple women at once, idealizing them obsessively, then turning bitter the moment affection was returned. Again and again, he described feeling empty, lonely, and consumed by resentment. The roots of this insecurity were deep. Goebbels was born with a clubfoot, causing a lifelong limp. In a society obsessed with physical perfection and militarism, this became a source of profound shame. Rejected from military service and dismissed by the literary world, he developed a deep hatred of humanity, writing that prolonged contact with people made him despise them. Unable to form genuine connection, he learned to perform connection. Everything changed when he met Adolf Hitler. In his diary, Goebbels described Hitler with emotional intensity unlike anything he wrote about women. Hitler became the ultimate source of validation. Approval from him gave Goebbels meaning. From that moment on, loyalty replaced identity. As propaganda minister after 1933, Goebbels gained absolute control over Germany's cultural life, especially the film industry. Actresses' careers depended entirely on his favor. Historians argue that genuine consent in these relationships was impossible. A single word from him could end a career, or protect it. Power became attraction. According to accounts from staff and historians, Goebbels pursued actresses relentlessly, lost interest once control was achieved, and moved on. His behavior followed the same structure as his propaganda: flattery, emotional manipulation, and domination. Publicly, he preached purity, family values, and sacrifice. Privately, he lived in luxury, conducted affairs, and applied rules only to others. His marriage to Magda Goebbels became the regime's most effective illusion. Carefully staged photographs presented them as the ideal Nazi family: 6 children, devotion, harmony. In reality, the marriage was maintained for propaganda purposes alone and was directly controlled by Hitler himself. Behind the image was emotional emptiness. As the war turned against Germany, Goebbels' need for validation intensified. His diaries reveal increasing obsession with Hitler's approval, frantic activity, and growing detachment from reality. Even as cities burned and defeat became inevitable, he continued performing, writing speeches for audiences that no longer existed. In April 1945, as Soviet forces closed in on Berlin, Goebbels remained beside Hitler in the bunker. After Hitler's suicide, Goebbels made his final decision. Rather than face a world without power, without Hitler, without an audience, he chose destruction. He and Magda poisoned their 6 children, then ended their own lives. It was not an act of loyalty. It was his final performance. Historians agree, Goebbels was not corrupted by power. The corruption was already there. Power simply magnified it. His life demonstrates how insecurity, when combined with absolute authority, becomes catastrophic. How manipulation, perfected in private, can be scaled to deceive millions. and how performance, when mistaken for identity, ultimately destroys everything it touches. Joseph Goebbels did not merely spread lies, he lived inside them until they consumed him completely.